Hello, dividend executives. Welcome back. The stock market is open, so you already know we are buying stocks, adding assets to the portfolio, and we are going over our options trades. You got it. You see it. We are back, and we are showcasing the small options trading account. Why? Well, because we have been making some money. We had a huge run up in crypto last week. Our asset has completely rebounded, and we hit new all-time highs in this portfolio. And of course, it is time for an update because we have been trading options. We have buying power available. And I want to talk about the wheel and how I've been trading it to make 6.5% every single month of 2024 in this account. So let's go over it. Well, we're down for the day, 3%. For the week, we are up almost 5%. For the month, up 17%. 3 months, 6.8%. Year to date, 17%. 1 year, 34.62%. And all time since we moved this account over in, March of last year? Very end of February. So March of last year, up 48.25%. I don't know anybody out there but that wouldn't be happy with a 48% return in the last year. Now, as you can see from the graph, it has been a bumpy ride. Why? Well, because we will stocks. And when you will stocks, you own assets. And when you own assets, there is volatility. And if you probably could have guessed it, but anytime you are making 6.5% a month on average for a 10-month span of time, there's gonna be volatility in the account. So when you see volatility, and you see the constant marks here, the constant marks as we continue to go up here in the first is just selling cash secure puts, cash secure puts, cash secure puts. And so all your cash is just slowly building up. Then you get assigned the shares. The shares move up and down. You see massive swings in the account. Then the asset rebounds to the price you bought it at, or it goes above it. And that's where you see these steep inclines. And then you get back to selling cash secure puts. You get assigned shares. On and on and on and on. And we'll go into the wheel a little bit more, but that's where we're at, and that's how we've made almost 50% in the last year and a half. So $309 worth of buying power, and my gosh, we have been wheeling and dealing this one single asset, and it is called Mara. So let's jump into it. Let's look at the history of Mara. Let's look at where the money's been coming from and how we made a truckload of money this week selling covered calls. So first things first, we have to look. We rolled some calls on Friday. Mara was sitting close to our $19 strike, but it was below it. So I was able to close out my 4 $19 calls on 1018 for 1 penny each, or $1 each per 100 shares. And we resold the 19.5s for $60. Meaning if they were to get called this Friday, which is possible, we would be selling it over $20 a share with the appreciation in there. So we got paid a truckload of money, $236 for the week, which is an absolute W. If we look before that, every week we've just been rinsing, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, right? So if we go to the traditional IRA and we look at what we've been doing, we're just wheeling and dealing. We're selling covered calls. We're collecting rent each and every single week. 236 this week. Last week we collected 52. We took the 52. We bought more shares at $50 worth, right? The week before that, collected the 52, bought more shares. Obviously, I make a little bit of deposits in here as well. That's how we're buying more than we're making on the call side. We bought some here, sold a covered call for $80, bought some shares, sold one for $40, sold another one for $24, $16. Anyways, you get it. What we do every single week is we sell calls, we collect rent, we buy shares over and over and over, and that's how we have $483 worth of shares. So what do? Well, you saw it. We just collected $236. So we're coming in tomorrow. We're at $17.95 right now. We have a nice pullback on the day. And so our average cost is $18.53. Of course, we are buying shares. Now, how much are we going to buy? Well, let's buy, let's actually come back. I want to do it in shares just to make it a little cleaner. If we bought 5 shares, we're talking about 89. If we bought 10 shares, we're talking about 179. Right now, we own 483. So I want to buy 7. And I'm going to leave, so that's going to be $125. That's not all we made for the week. But I want to leave a little bit of buying power available, as I always do, for if we continue to dip. Right now, Mara is down 4%, almost 5% on the day. But it has the possibility to go down even more. I mean, Mara was just sitting in the 15s. So I don't want to get overextended. Now we're up to 490 shares. We're 10 shares away from having a whole other lot of Mara, which is freaking awesome. If we were to go in and we were to buy 10 more shares, it's $179. We could afford it. And that would get us to trading another lot. What does trading another lot means? Well, it means if I wanted to sell another call, I could come in here and we go down to the 19.5 and we could make another $22. I'm going to work toward that and we'll probably get there next week. But for now, I'm staying patient and I'm watching this stock. If it continues to come down, I want to buy more shares for a cheaper price. But we are to the 1852 average cost now. We're close to the 1850, which is what I love to see. So that's what we do. We're up $140 on my trade on Friday. Now, could I close that out right now and completely leave my shares uncovered? Yeah, I 100% could. But this is my strategy each and every single week. I sell the covered call. If it gets to that strike price, I'm okay letting the shares go, and you have to be okay letting the shares go. So I'm going to let this run. I want the full 236. I've already been paid it, but I want to keep all of it, and I don't want to lose my shares unless it's at the 19.5. Then next week, we'll go in, we'll rinse, repeat, and we'll collect rent every single week, and that's how we make 6.5% per month every single month. So let's jump into it. I want to talk about the wheel strategy. A lot of people are new here. If you don't know what the wheel strategy is, it's a strategy I use, and I've made over $180,000 just this year between all of my accounts, trading options, and a lot of it has to do with the wheel strategy. So what does the wheel strategy mean? You have cash sitting in your account, and we've done it multiple times in this account or in some of my other videos. You have cash sitting in your account. You sell a cash secured put, which is what we did to get assigned our shares. You get assigned your shares. If you don't get assigned your shares, you get your cash back. If you do get your shares assigned, then you own the shares. And then once you have the shares, then you can sell covered calls, which is what you just saw we did, right? We sold 4 covered calls on Mara this week let me go back here, for the 19.5, right? So we sold this covered call right here. We own the shares. We sold the covered call and we got paid $236 to sell the covered call, right? We have 490 shares. We were able to sell, I don't know why this keeps popping up. We were able to sell 4 calls because we have 400 shares. Once we get to 500, we can sell 5 calls. So that's the covered call. We sell the covered call, and then you either get assigned or you don't get assigned. If you don't get assigned, you get your share, you keep your shares, you get all of that premium, you continue to keep all that premium, and then you go again for the next week or the next month or whatever time frame you're looking at. If you do get assigned, then you lose all your shares and you go back to cash, and then you restart the wheel. And that's why they call it the wheel strategy, right? So you go from cash secure puts to getting assigned the shares to selling covered calls, getting those shares called away, back to cash, over and over and over, and that's what we've done. And so let's take a look at it. We've done it in this account a lot, and I want to talk about it. So this is all the trades that we have made for the year, right? In this account. Not very many, but it's a small account, so we can only make 1 trade or 2 trades per week. And you can see here on the right, there's a will profit column, right? Oh, you can see we have sold covered calls, and then it gets to my strike price and goes above it. And so I get my shares called away. And this is, so we book the premium, of course. So right here, we booked the $100 worth of premium on CleanSpark, but we sold it above our cost basis and we made $124 on that will. And you can see all these right here are will profits, which means just like in this example for this week, right? We sold the Mara call at the 19.5. Our cost basis is 18.5. Well, it's 1852, but it's at 18.5. So if we sell all 400 shares, we're going to make $400 in will profit, and that's on the capital gain side of things. Plus, we'll also keep that $240 with the premium that we were paid, right? So that is willing a stock. We have done it so far right now. We've made $1,754 trading options on CleanSpark, $880 on Mara, Riot $135, TSLL $238 for a total of $3,000 this year. So if you want to look at it, this is the numbers. There's no fib here. I've showed every single video the entire year of every single trade. There's no joke in this. We've made $3,000. We're averaging $300 a month, and in will capital gains, we're averaging $100 a month, right? So $400 a month is what we are averaging on this account. You can see the balance at the start of the year, 7,000. You obviously saw the balance just barely, and we are at all-time highs. This is the return every single month, right? I take the balance on Robinhood at day one of every single month, usually around 8 a.m. and I put it here. The balance, and then you divide it by the cap gains plus the premium, right? And so this month right now, we're at 4.41%. We still have 2 weeks left. So that's what we're doing. We're at 6.55% as an average. Our balance average so far this year has been 6,500, and this is how the incomes come in, right? We haven't had a lot of will cap gains recently, a lot in April, a lot in May, a lot in June, and a lot in July, which means that the price stayed pretty close to where we were trading the options. Now, in the last 3 months, obviously, crypto has been down, and so I've just been selling covered calls, and we still collect rent each and every single week. Each and every single month. So August 308, September 160, October 340 already, and we're only 21 days into the month. So it's probably going to be a nice $500 a month if I were to guess, especially if we don't get the shares called away. Then we can collect rent again next week and we can sell covered calls, right? So if we want to look at the month, this is October so far. Nothing in the first 4 days. Nothing in the first 4 days. $52 from the 7th to the 11th, the 14th to the 18th, $288, which was this last week. And then we still have 2 more weeks that we can collect premium, but it is looking really good. So that is the will strategy. That is how I'm doing it on a small account. I've been showing it each and every single week. The trades that I have been making, this is how I've been making it so far. Again, this is Mara, 490 shares. It says obviously right now we're down $257. In this morning we were up, right? It was at 1940 just this morning, so we were up huge. Not too worried about it. Sell calls every single week, collect rent. If we get our shares called away, great. Book the win, move on, sell the cash secured put, rinse, repeat, and make 6.5% a month. Can I do this forever? Probably not. Is this a super volatile stock? 100%, and you have to be able to stomach the swings. But overall, this is just the numbers. This is where we're at. We're up 50% since we moved this account over. I'll take a 50% gain all day long in a year and a half. So I hope this helps some people that are new to trading options or people that are looking at trading wills. It's been an awesome strategy for me, and hopefully this helped you. Me showcasing every single week how I am willing and dealing in and out of Mara or other stocks. So thanks everybody. As always, don't forget to drop a like. Happy investing, and we'll catch you next time.